192 monitor, right?
Yeah, that place is huge.
It's gigantic, right?
Yeah.
So, any of my other cats coming in here?
No,
No?
That'll be the second.
Second wave.
Yeah.
You're just going to stay.
That'll be our strays talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're A-list then, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Precisely.
You're running out of
I
time.
don't. It wasn't up to me. Just you know.
We're rolling time.
All right.
My
we're
drummer
good.
gets really uptight about these kinds of things.
Oh, all right. First of all, you guys all seem like you guys are already friendly with each other. How close have you guys been over the years? When did you guys meet? How'd this all kind of come together? Even before Lollapalooza, were you guys hanging out, or?
We've known
We've
each
known
other
for quite some time,
before
yeah.
we were even signed.
Yeah, and
Undergone
Perry
already.
asked our previous band, Rage Against the Machine, to play Lollapalooza, the side stage, in 1992. So it's we have Lollapalooza in the veins.
I only know them from being a fan of all the bands, so I'd like to say I've been living in one of your guys' garages for the past 5 years.
We'll catch up with you.
Summer to catch up, so.
So what's this like actually sitting here with these guys now? What kind of things go through your head? How excited are you about being part of this mix?
Very excited, yeah. I'm normally in these situations I would jump on one of them and probably make everyone very uncomfortable, but I'll contain myself.
Again, it's a long summer. There's a lot of time for
Everything's so long.
Come August, there'll be some jumping. Talk about bringing this back now. Why now? Is it something that you've been wanting to do for years? Was it never a question?
Well, you know, obviously it was going until '97, and this was starting to get stale, and there weren't enough great, credible bands, I felt, to draw from. There's a lot of competition, and people were, honestly, they were kind of copying the blueprint of it, so it didn't make ours very special anymore. We've come back now. The timing is just really perfect because there's this real urgency to rock again, like there was back in '91. And the Gen Y, you know, the musicians, people want to play again, want to play music, and they want to see people that can really play and really, you know, rock out. That's for one. And then the other thing is we've developed this interactive playing field now. So it's going to be the very first, it's a groundbreaking Lollapalooza this year in the way of interactivity and tying the festival together using interactive things like cell phones and video gaming, things like that.
Mm-hmm. How much of this is stuff that you wanted to do then, that you envisioned then? Because I remember you talking about stuff like this years ago.
Yeah, yeah. But, well, the idea was a good idea. Obviously, it's coming into fruition now, but to try to get the technical team together to do it was, people just kind of just would say, I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm not really sure. It sounds kind of good, but I don't have time. But let's do a Lollapalooza anyway, and we'll see how it goes. And then, of course, a month into it, you know, that's scratched off the list. So, but now it's all gelling, and the bands, back to the music, the bands are just ready to cook, man. The lineup's pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
Exceptional, I would say.
Yeah. Chris, talk about being now with you guys and Tom. You guys being back in the band. What does this feel like? You've done this before. You've done this before. You guys have all played, except for you and Lollapalooza?
Never done Lollapalooza.
Yeah. So just talk about just how good it feels to be part of this again, for those of you, what it means to you.
Well, having done it twice, the '92 was like the coolest tour I've ever been on because all the bands got along together. We would like guest star on each other's in each other's sets. I mean, I would jump around on Ice Cube's set. I would sing a song with Ministry, whatever, and they could come out like, you know, without planning it. When we played, after we would stay and watch everyone would watch us. It was like a fraternal thing, but with a lot of people. It's not like when you do your own tour, you've got like the opening band and you guys, and if you don't like them, you're screwed. You're just stuck with like your miserable bandmates and that kind of thing. But, so like just this is really cool. It's already starting for me, and that's the most important thing. If we get along great and everybody's in a good mood and having a good time, then it becomes like a great thing to do.
Do you have any crazy memories from the old days? Anything that, like how wild did things get back then, 10, 11 years ago?
When we played first, and I was big into golf carts. And so it became like this sort of a crazy golf cart summer for me. I have to be honest with you, I loved the music and I would always check the bands, but then I was always looking for golf carts. And so I've heard that the level of golf carts has gone way up in the last
Timmy C in the past has set land speed records in several southern states with golf carts. I got a feeling that some of those are going to be shredded this summer. Yeah.
Wow. And how great is it for Audioslave to be seen now this summer? You guys have been developing a bigger fan base based on the past, but now to be known as who you are now, what are you looking forward to?
Well, when Lollapalooza first came out, it was by far the most important concert tour to ever go across America. It broke down barriers between genres. There was 9 Inch Nails and Ice Cube on the same stage, and nothing like that had ever happened before. We take for granted now that kids can be fans of metal and alternative music and hip-hop, but that did not exist before Lollapalooza, and it really brought together cutting-edge bands and a lot of big ideas too. There's like a political concourse you could check out. You could become educated or join organizations. And now in this time where I think there's a real influx of pop music and derivative rock music, that it's the perfect time for a cutting-edge tour like Lollapalooza to reassert itself with great bands and big ideas, and that's what we're going to do this summer.
I think it's always good to try to mix it up. I mean, I remember it was just before the first Lollapalooza where I think I was watching Monterey Pops or something, the footage, and it was the Who, and then it went into Otis Redding. And to me, it's like, that made perfect sense. It was great. And Otis Redding had as much rock energy as all of the Who. And and I was thinking, why can't you do that now? And there's no can't, it's just that nobody thinks of it. Mm-hmm. And in '92 to see Ice Cube get up and get like 20,000 white kids jumping up and down that knew every single word to his raps, that was the same thing. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it can't, but somebody has to have the idea, somebody has to make it happen. Because for some reason, it's not the norm, certainly.
We take it for granted now, but Lollapalooza introduced to America Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, Tool, 9 Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins,
Primus,
yeah, Fishbone. I mean, just like it's all the bands that mattered, for an entire decade. Their first major exposure was via Lollapalooza. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's very exciting about this year is not only is there a great rocking party on the main stage of these bands here, and Queens of the Stone Age, Perfect Circle's playing some shows, the Donnas, Cold, but the side stage as well. I mean, there are bands on that stage who we're going to be talking about 10 years from now.
Yeah. Hey, you guys give us some of those names so we'll be able to use it if you guys are talking about them. Yeah. What bands are you proudest of having touring with you?
On second stage?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hanging out with the Distillers, because I just was hanging out with Brody, and she seems like she's a pretty wild girl, but sweet, deep sweetness. And the Superstars of Belly Dance. Yeah. These ladies come out of Turkey, but they're accompanied by electronic break beats, and this Turkish singer who's like the ace Turkish singer out of Turkey. And then you.
There's some. I got a list too. I'm really looking forward to the Mooney Suzuki, who are phenomenal rockers, and the Music, which is great. They're really great. And Burning Brides, who Audioslave toured with around the US. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, really great people and a great band. So there's a lot of bands that I'm going to be on Timmy's golf cart heading over to the second stage to check.
The Kings of Leon, those guys. The Kings of Leon, they're like this country rock band. I like country rock. I always loved the Allman Brothers and Leon Russell. So I'm looking forward to them. And this new group, Rooney. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be sexy and hot young guys, so ought to draw some girls.
Yeah. What do you take away from these guys? What kind of experience? Do you look up to them in certain ways? How excited are you about spending so much time with them?
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be the biggest thing is just to go out and play music, like we've been saying, and watching bands who you enjoy and respect does wonders for your own art as well, because it pushes you in good ways, to try and do better and do more and stuff. So, but a lot of these bands I haven't seen as well. I've seen Audioslave once. I've seen Jane's Addiction many times. Very excited to see them. Queens of the Stone Age, I'm a big fan of. I've actually never seen Jurassic 5 play before, or the Donnas. Mm-hmm. So actually, most of these bands I've never been able to watch. So it's going to be really inspiring, very inspiring summer. And luckily we're writing a record right now, so I get to go and I'll be side of the stage
the Distillers, A minor.
It's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
How much is awareness and spreading awareness important with something like this? Besides just the rock and roll, you touched on it before, but is that really in the back of your mind? Is something that the whole time that you were thinking about?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that really impressed me when I went to Lollapalooza initially was how it went beyond the music and was about ideas as well. And this year, in addition to the interconnectivity of the concert, there's going to be an Axis of Justice tent at the Lollapalooza as well, where there will be local grassroots political organizations for kids to check out, get educated, become involved. And because there are a lot of young people out there that really want to be involved and they don't know how to plug in or connect. And so we hope to build a bridge between fans of music, bands who care, and grassroots political organizations who can help them do something about it.
What have you guys learned about the road? You guys have been on the road for years and years and years. How have things changed for you guys in terms of knowing what you want, knowing how to be comfortable, knowing how to have fun? You guys just put into words your life now on the road, how it was different from, say, 8 years ago or so.
I don't get loaded. I used to get loaded non-stop, and it's hard. It makes everything hard. And you don't have that much fun. So, like, now I do it sober, and it's way more fun. That's, like, the main change for me.
You know what's sick too is the guys in Queens of the Stone Age were talking about the dudes in Incubus, and they were saying how great they were to tour with and be around, and that's why they wanted to come out on this tour, and that means a lot when you go out on the road and have people around you that are cool and that you hear are very cool,
It gets lonely out there. So it is, like he was saying before, it is important to be out with bands whose company you enjoy, because otherwise it can get kind of desolate. You have your tour bus. Hopefully your best friends are in the band with you, but sometimes you have to branch out from that. And a lot of times you don't have the means to get out in your own car and drive somewhere, or get on a bike or something like that and just go right down the street and check stuff out. So your company is more important than people sort of, pay in mind. So it's going to be really cool. We have a lot to choose from.
Lollapalooza is like for the bands, it's kind of like a rock and roll summer camp, where it's where you've got a lot of friends and there's great music and there's countless diversions. And for bands, it's selfishly, it's something that's so great to play. In addition to for people who come and get to sort of look into the world, but you get to see great music. Hopefully as it goes along, there'll be some interconnectivity between the bands as well. We'll be like playing together and stuff. And yeah.
I've got Lush products for these guys. You know what Lush is?
In Canada?
Yeah. I'm gonna dip them out.
What's that?
Cosmetic Lad, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna
jeez.
get that for you. I got. You know what Lush products?
No, still lost.
Plug Lush products. Well, what I did was I contacted this company. They put together lotion and shampoo and everything, and I decked you guys all out, so you at least have a nice clean. Scented,
clean summer camp.
We'll be well oiled with expensive
little
creams throughout the
extras,
summer.
And then the other tip is never have the party in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interconnectivity is good, but
Yeah, exactly.
you want good creams and lotions, you want the party to be somewhere else.
Like
Creams
you're
and
connecting in
lotions,
someone
never
else's
party.
suite. Yeah.
Side stage
Cosmetic
band's
Lab.
great because they'll have a party. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're looking to like hang out, and so
Right.
Yeah.
We should come into their parties all greased up and like loaded.
Exactly.
Pretty
Pair of
roads.
slippers.
And the one thing that Lollapalooza has always done, and Perry's always done, is create an atmosphere where it's a great time for the artists involved. Like we've toured in Australia together, and it's like every night off there was always something, some amazing new event that you never would have thought of occurs. And so for the bands, that's really cool. So looking forward to that.
How proud are you, Perry, just of what you've created? Hearing all these wonderful things about Lollapalooza and coming back to the fact that this was all your vision originally.
Well, that's true, but their mothers and fathers should take all the credit. I'm just lucky enough to be hanging out with them, and I'm smart enough to see some talent. But it's pretty easy when you have such talented people. Your party's gonna sound pretty good. You gotta go to it.
Would you ever sit back and just think? I'm sure you have plenty of time to think about what you've kind of done with this and just kind of the way you've kind of changed the shape of music over the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah, I am proud of that part of it, but I would say that it all boils to the music. If the music isn't there, then it's a hollow event. So the first thing is if you know that it's gonna lift you to that moment, like you said at Monterey.
Right.
The reason that one cat was matching the other cat is because all those great musicians were there, and you had to rise to that occasion. So that's what you look for. And honestly, look for some sexy guys to make the girls happy.
Chris agrees. Well, I remember the girls from the first. You guys still enjoy the ladies in the audience? That's still kind of a kick?
No. But for us, because
for
in Rage Against the Machine, I don't think we, like the male to female ratio was somewhat different than it's going to be at this year's Lollapalooza. So we too, it's going to be interesting and new and bizarre.
That's where you can give them some
sweaty
tips.
dudes is all we've seen for years.
You can give them some tips on the lady admiration, right?
You gotta learn how to grind with your guitar.
Hopefully there will be a reality TV show of like grinding guitar lessons, man. There we go. There we go.
I think all the ladies of rock are going to turn you out on this tour, Tom.
I think so.
And just lastly, we get something about Incubus, just going towards the next album too. Just how do you see your band kind of evolving over the summer with this, and what your kind of stuff you're writing?
Well, we've had there's been a few changes that have gone on in the band. We have a new bass player, which is actually very exciting for us because the individual in the band was in a band that we all love and respect.
Can you say his name?
The Roots, yeah. I was like setting him up.
But there he is!
Oh, really? From the Roots, right on.
Ben Kenny from the Roots is playing. He was actually playing guitar in the Roots, and he played bass in the Roots for a while too. But his heart, I think, was in rock music, and he's brought to our band like this freshness, like almost like we started over again. It's amazing. So we're in a really cool, fun spot right now. And we're really looking forward to playing new material. We're going to try and learn our old songs again because we haven't played them in a long time. So it's going to be really interesting, We don't really know how it's going to turn out, but I'm sure we'll have fun.
So you're going to write new songs?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we've been doing for the past like 4 or 5 months. So this summer we'll have our little mobile Pro Tools unit, with us. So.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, you guys should.
We're going to have one too.
Really?
Yeah, one of the things we have is backstage. We have a jam room. We always jam before we go out there. We're going to set up some Pro Tools, and we're hoping that we all just can step. Well, it's going to happen anyway. Usually the drummers are the first. Like you go in there to get warmed up, and somebody else's drummer's on Steve's kit always.
Everybody in a band is a drummer in denial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And lastly, we'll finish up. I just wanted any surprises we look forward to, any special guests. You guys are friends with everyone. I know other bands are always coming out to see you guys. Could people look forward to surprises at shows and guest artists, or?
You don't want to give up on a surprise or it's not a surprise.
Exactly.
Everybody look forward to many, many surprises.
But we'll tell you one thing. This individual is a very special guest.
There we go. Great. You guys are great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We stay or go, or